Hello everyone, in this video I have a walkthrough on how to beat this week's mutation on brutal difficulty, that is Dead Heat. The laws of nature seem to have been upended. Liquid magma spews forth not only from Viridia Prime but also from the hostile forces intent on its destruction. Death itself pulls inescapably at your forces, but your enemies seem immune to its touch. You must survive this onslaught and save the planet. So it's on the co-op mission, the Vermilion Problem. The first mutation is Fatal Attraction. When enemy units and structures die, any of your nearby units are pulled to their location. This is a new mutation, and it's nasty. Self-destruction is the second mutation. Enemy units explode and deal damage to nearby player units upon death. And the third mutation is Walking Infested. Enemy units spawn infested Terran upon death in numbers according to the unit's life. Once again, possible 185,000 bonus experience on brutal difficulty, and I have beat this already, so I am going to give you guys a walkthrough of the replay. So let's go ahead and hop straight into that. Oh, actually, before we do that, I want to show you the mastery skill points. So I was playing as Karax, and then my teammate was playing as Kerrigan, and I just played with a random player. And for power set 1, I use structure, life, and shields, everything in that. Power set 2, repair beam, healing rate, and power set 3, initial and maximum spear of Adun energy. Alright, I'm just going to go ahead and hop into that replay now. Alright, so as you can see, my teammate is Kerrigan, Davix, mastery level 90. So basically what we did is, or what we're going to do as you're going to see, is I did all the defense, and then my teammate did all of the attacking. And that seemed to work out really well. And of course I use, I got all of the upgrades from the Solar Forge here, and I'm going to use a ton of energy to support our teammate. So that helps out a lot. And of course, also, we're using our probes to help gather the crystals. So our teammate isn't doing all of the offense by himself, but he's definitely doing a lot of it, that is. Okay, so what I'm doing is currently just built a probe, threw down, well actually I built 2 probes, and I got to that 15 supply, and since pylons warp in instantly, just built a pylon right at the 15 supply, and then just keep on pumping out these probes for a little bit until we have enough minerals to build a forge, because we are going defenses first. So just going to keep on making probes, go forge first, and then we'll get our first assimilator out here. And we'll probably get a second one out pretty quick too. And we're going to saturate both of our simulators as soon as we can, because we want to get a lot of gas to get upgrades for our photon cannons and our Karax monoliths, and also for the shield batteries. And then we also want to get the upgrades from the Solar Forge here, like solar efficiency level 1, advanced repair systems, phase detonation, and solar flare. Okay, and as you can see, just saturated this assimilator here. And now I have 3 probes on this assimilator, and we got that saturated now. So now we're getting the maximum amount of gas off this one base so far. Then as soon as this lava goes away, I'm going to start sending a probe out to the expansions here to start helping clear that out. And I just threw down another pylon. 1, to not help us to not get supply blocked, and 2, just so we have some extra space to build defenses. And then just gathering both those crystals now. These ones are the easiest, of course. And just continuing to make some probes. And now with that probe I used to gather the crystal here and here, now I'm setting that probe down around the right side of this base. And we're just going to kind of sneak in. I kind of missed it right here. I thought I could get in right there, but no. So yeah, sneak in, come up the ramp here, and now I'm going to start throwing down a pylon here. And then I decide to, because there's a photon cannon right here, our enemy's Protoss, I decided to throw down a Karax monolith first, and I probably wasted it, but you guys will see that in a second. In the meantime, I started getting optimized ordnance, increases the attack speed of photon cannons and Karax monoliths by 25%. First upgrade to get for Karax, like definitely, and you get that damage increase per second basically because of the increased attack speed. And then I also threw down a gateway so I can start making shield batteries. And then in quick second here, I will start making... Yeah, I threw down a Karax monolith here. I made the Karax monolith so I could outrange this one photon cannon, but honestly, I should have made it closer because it's not really going to be able to do too much damage to anything else. So I probably should have just, you know, made some more photon cannons instead of spending all that resources on that Kadar and Monolith right away. Anyways, our teammate uses Kerrigan to take out the first wave, so we don't have to worry about that. And we've been making probes this whole time, so we've got a completely saturated supply line right now. And now I'm just working on constantly clicking my probe away from any of these enemy units once they die, because if you move your probe away quick enough, then you don't have to worry about getting sucked in, because that explosion after death doesn't take effect right away. So as long as you keep a safe enough distance, and if you do get sucked in and you click away fast enough, you most of the time won't get killed. If there's a bunch of explosions all at once, though, you'll keep getting sucked in and eventually will die. But anyways, that's pretty much the strategy we're using right now. And just whenever I get 150 minerals, I just keep on kind of crawling forward here with this static defense and instantly warp in photon cannons. And these will just keep on hammering down these enemy bases, and Kerrigan's doing some work for us as well, and eventually we'll have this all cleared out. There does happen to be one other crystal up here. I can't remember if we do end up going for that, but there is an enemy wave that we do have to get rid of. Our teammate is very quick though, and intercepts this really nicely, and we had orbital strikes. We used we have this F4 hotkey set up for our orbital strikes, so I used that right away on the enemy's wave, and then our teammate was right there just in time with Kerrigan to take it out as well. And Kerrigan's probably going to get hit with this lava, but it looks like Kerrigan's toughened through it, so that's good. And yeah, like I was saying before, just constantly throwing on some more photon cannons. And then the best part about kind of crawling forward at this expansion with these defenses is these guys aren't really going to waste. So yes, I did spend a lot of money on this Kadar and Monolith right away, but all of these defenses, including this Kadar and Monolith, are going to come in use later when enemy waves come to attack our outpost. So we already have some defenses in place, which is really good. And then what I was doing right here with the probe is I was just giving vision to these probes and infested that kept on walking forward to my photon cannon so they could kill them, and then I move away so my probe wouldn't die. And now I'm just building one more photon cannon here to finish taking out this last assimilator, and then we'll build another assimilator on this guy. And then we'll be good to go. We'll be pretty much set up at our outpost. Now, next steps are to... Oh, I suppose I didn't show you guys... Get in here. Let's see upgrades here. I got fortification barrier and let's see. I think... Oh yeah, optimized ordnance, fortification barrier, and solar efficiency level 1. So basically, I got increased range for the photon cannons and Kadar and monoliths. Then I got fortification barrier, which increases the amount of... I believe it increases the amount of... shields, let's see, it might be on here. Yeah, grants the target structure a barrier that absorbs up to 100 damage for 10 seconds. So shield batteries can now use this ability every 30 seconds. And then solar efficiency, that allows more solar rights to be generated every single second. I believe it goes from 2 to 4. And then the next one will let us go from 4 to 6. Or we'll wait a second here. Generates 4 points of energy for the Spirit Dune every 6 seconds. Oh, either way, it gets increased. I can't remember the exact numbers for solar efficiency level 1, but it gets increased from a certain amount. Can't remember, but anyway, got those upgrades so far. And what we need to start working on now is building defenses right here, and then in all 3 ramps for our little outpost that we got going on where our expansions are. So we're going to build defenses right here, and right here. And then as our teammate moves out, we will send out probes to help pick up crystals, and then also be using orbital strikes and solar lances to help clear out enemy waves. But in the meantime, we need to keep on getting upgrades, and in order to do that, we have to get the Twilight Council. So because we have the cybernetics core, we can start getting advanced repair systems, which allows the Spear of Dune's reconstruction beam to affect an additional target for a total up to 4. So we can start doing that. Oh, I must have gone into the player camera by accident. Oh, we used Purifier Beam here. So this enemy wave came in, and I had no defenses in place. So definitely using the Purifier Beam was a good choice at this point. But a second a second wave of this attack came in here, and I didn't have anything left, so I just used the rest of my Solarite. It actually worked out pretty well, but unfortunately there were some left stragglers here, so they are doing a little bit of damage, but our teammate had some Hydralisks left over, and I had a bunch of minerals so I could start building some photon cannons, but as you can see, this probe just keeps getting pulled back and forth, so I couldn't build anything. Anyway, we were able to clear out the rest of that wave. Thank goodness. It worked out just right for us. Oh, and then another wave came in here. Oh, they're kind of relentless right now. But on the bright side of this, I believe we've used Chrono Wave once already, and now our expansion is, and we're using it again. Now our expansion is completely saturated, as you can see, and then our home base will be. We need to work on this. I wasn't building any probes at the time. I was focused on upgrades. I'll actually cover this quick. We're getting solar efficiency level 2, rapid recharging. That increases the energy regeneration rate of energizers and shield batteries by 200%, and then shields level 2. And I used Chrono Wave and got all 3 of these upgrades to go at the same time as Chrono Wave. So make sure to do that. If you're using Chrono Wave, set up a bunch of upgrades for yourself and your teammate. If you can, try to synchronize you guys' upgrades at the same time and make the most use out of Chrono Wave. Also, you can produce probes really fast, or even drones from hatcheries, or SCVs from command centers, and you can completely fill up these supply lines. I forgot to do this, unfortunately, so right now we're kind of low on drones, or not drones, probes at our home base, but we'll fill it back up soon. Anyway, what we're focused on doing right now is throwing some energizers at these outposts that we got, or these defense setups that we have, and also getting some more upgrades. And then I'm also, I didn't show, oh no, our teammate walked into the, oh, hopefully Kerrigan doesn't die here. He's got a pretty good micro, I gotta admit, keeping Kerrigan alive really effectively. But when our teammate moved in here, I didn't show it. I believe we used the Solar Lance ability and some orbital strikes here to help clear out these enemies. And our teammate also used a mobilization wave, which stuns all the enemies and deals some damage to them at the same time. And then now, to help out our teammate was sending some drones down here to collect these crystals, but we sent in some probes of our own. And if you are doing this strategy, you got to help your teammate. I mean, even if your teammate is clearing out everything and sends in drones of his or her own, I mean, you got to assist as much as you can, because if you don't assist, I mean, you're just kind of getting carried, and it's really going to slow you guys down, and you don't have that much time. So do whatever you can to, if you are building defenses, just throw your probes in. Always bring a set of probes with your enemy or your ally if you can, and always throw down the orbital strikes and solar lances as much as you can wherever your teammate is attacking at. Now here's a good time to use some solar lances, so I think that's exactly what we do. And yes, as you can see, we use the orbital strike ability right here, and that really effectively cleared out all of these enemies. So solar lance is incredible on this mutation. I mean, the units aren't really any stronger than they normally would be, so the solar lance, it does 200 damage, so anything except for like hybrids, and actually I think that's about it, because I don't think we really ran into too many immortals here. There may be some carriers, but yeah, I think pretty much everything gets one hit by the solar lance, and then if you use the second one, you kill all the infested in one hit as well. And then now what I'm doing is we've got this defense little outpost we got set up here. Now we're setting up the wall right here. We've got 2 energizers set up here. And I'm trying to put shield batteries in the front and just a ton of photon cannons. And I've been adding a couple pylons and photon cannons throughout here, but I don't have enough right now. But since I don't have enough set up right here, and actually I do this every time, I pull all of the probes away, because even if your probes aren't right next to this, all of them get sucked off the supply line, and even if they don't get sucked into this damage, they won't keep on mining, and they'll keep on just slowly get dragged closer and closer until finally they actually do get close enough to get damaged. So just pull them completely out of the battle zone, off to a safer distance like over here, or if a wave comes in from right here, then pull them back over here. But yeah, always pull them away. And that's how that actually helped a lot for winning this mutation, is keeping your probes alive, or drones or SCVs alive at your supply line. That will save the day. As long as you can keep a strong economy coming in, then you'll be pretty much good to go. And once again, here comes another wave, so you got to pull as many probes away as you can. Unfortunately, lost quite a few of them right here, but didn't matter too much because saved the majority of them. And just got to keep on clicking over and over until you can get them out there. There's too many here, so I threw down the Purifier Beam. Honestly, could have used Orbital Strikes to take them all out, but sometimes, I mean, if you have the Purifier Beam available, might as well just use it, because it takes out your enemies really quickly. And now I do have to rebuild some probes here, but you know, honestly, we're sitting pretty good. Still 16 out of the 18 probes on the supply line. We have empty gas right now, but we'll get that fixed in a quick second here. And our home base is finally starting to catch up, and we're using Chrono Wave. So now I will have this completely saturated. This is just about to be completely saturated again, and I believe we're getting some more upgrades as well. Yeah, we've got Solar Efficiency level 3 on the way. And, oh, in the meantime, I forgot to tell you guys, we got Phase Detonation and then Solar Flare. Phase Detonation, I believe, allows, I don't think it increases, or it might increase the damage of orbital strikes, but the main thing is that allows each orbital strike to stun enemy units for 1.5 seconds. And then Solar Flare increases, well, it doesn't increase the damage of Solar Lances, but it leaves a trail. Yeah, actually, I think you can read it on here now. 200 damage and sets fire to the ground for 200 extra damage over 10 seconds. So that, on that detail there, that isn't normally there until you get to upgrade. So yeah, 200 extra damage over 10 seconds to any ground that the enemies are walking on. So it really makes them powerful. And then yeah, I suppose you can see this here now. Yeah, 1.5 seconds for, stunning to each unit that it affects. So that's for each orbital strike. So you can really do some work with those orbital strikes now. And then now we have Solar Efficiency level 3 downloaded, or researched, and then we have we also got Shields level 3 just a little bit ago, and we're pretty much covered with all the upgrades that we need. Now I have a probe just kind of sitting right here. That probe's not doing any work. And then I decided to get some upgrades for carriers going from the Fleet Beacon, because you do need a Fleet Beacon or a Robotics Bay to get Solar Efficiency level 3. It's a requirement to research that. But, I mean, honestly, I do get the upgrade for carriers, but I really don't use them. I do get carriers at the very end, but like I said, I don't use them. I would just focus on just using defenses. Use all the resources you have to build, if anything, Kader and Monolith to soak up that gas. And just build a bunch of photon cannons. And then, kind of like this, you see these probes just kind of sitting there. You will notice that happen a lot, because, oh, here, actually, before I get to that. Here was a perfect time to use Solar Lances. Our teammate used a mobilization wave on this enemy wave that came in, and we used Solar Lance right here. Then there was enemy units right here, we used Solar Lance right there, and enemy units right here, Solar Lance right there, and cleared out everything with our teammate. It worked out so well. It was like perfect timing. So yeah, when you have big masses of enemies like that, use Solar Lance. It's so good. Okay, and we're sitting pretty good at this point. I wonder if we can see, I don't know if we can actually see what the main objective is currently sitting at right now, but we're getting pretty darn close to the total amount of crystals that we need. I think we're probably sitting at like 14 at this point. So yeah, we're doing pretty darn good. Here, let's see if I close. Oh yeah, we can see 12. So yeah, as soon as we get these guys turning, we'll be at 14 like I was saying. Okay. And now what I've done is I've got photon cannons right here, so if any air comes in to try to kill the probes, these guys will distract that. And I've built a wall of shield batteries, and this completely closes off from these probes right here. So this is actually really important. If and I've done the same thing here, almost. Actually, I think I have. I don't think a probe can get through right here. But anyways, this is important because if enemies come in from right here and they die, they'll suck in the probes here if I don't happen to move them up here, and all of my probes will get stuck right here instead of getting pulled over here where they can get killed by those explosions. And these shield batteries will save all your probes from dying, especially because they'll repair the shields too. So that's really essential if you're not paying attention to. So it's a good way to save your probes. Same thing over here. And then now our teammates clearing out this next tier here. I wasn't helping out too much. I was just focusing on building defenses. As you can see, I'm throwing down some K'Dair and monoliths now all over the place just to make our little outpost a little bit stronger where our expansions are. And then just throwing down some more energizers here and here. And I'll throw some K'Dair and monoliths down here. Yep, as you can see. And now that the lava just went down, I'm going to start taking some of these probes over here and gather these crystals and start making some defenses over here as well. But first I want to cover this engagement that's happening. Okay, so as you can see, they were in a perfect line. This was absolutely, absolutely great time to use Solar Lance. And look at this. You see this right here? This shield battery saved all of those probes because they couldn't get sucked into that pull from the Fatal Attraction mutation. All these probes got pulled, but the self-destruction that would happen, none of these probes got pulled into that because the shield battery would block them. So that's what you need. Even if you are watching, that this Fatal Attraction just will keep on pulling. You can't control that. So you need some type of building in the way to help prevent your probes from dying, or drones or SCVs. It works extra well if you're playing as Karax because, you know, Karax is made for the defense style pretty much. Okay, so at this point, we've just gathered the 2 crystals that were sitting here. We've got them going back. We're going to be sitting at 16 out of 20 crystals. And now our teammate is finishing to clear off some of this stuff. I'm going to throw down a Purifier Beam to help clear out these units here. And I'll probably do some orbital strikes as well. And we've got an enemy wave coming in from right here, so we're going to have to deal with that eventually. But the lava will probably hold them off for a little bit longer. Okay, as you can see, we're using that orbital strike special ability, and now we're throwing down some of these orbital strikes to help clear out these Colossus, carriers, and the hybrids. Now this is all cleared out, so we have another crystal available, and then there's 2 more crystals up here, but all of these guys will not die, unfortunately, because Kerrigan did get killed. Luckily, we have 1,800 minerals and 800 gas. So, we should be able to use some defenses to help clear this out. And our teammate will be back very shortly with a bunch of units to help kill all this stuff as well. We have crystals here, crystals down here, crystals over here. And we've got a lot of options with 4 minutes to spare. So, we're not, at this point, we're feeling pretty comfortable, pretty confident that we're going to win. And surprisingly, these K'Dair and monoliths, they're pretty darn tough. I mean, they do pretty good work against this phase detonation, or is that what? No, self-destruction. Yeah, the self-destruction ability. Mutation, that is. They stay alive pretty well as long as you have shield batteries to keep them alive. And of course, they do a ton of damage. What is it? 100 damage? Yeah, that's ridiculous. So yeah, it's quite good to have K'Dair and monoliths, but I would definitely say until you get a good economy, definitely focus on building a lot of photon cannons. The photon cannons will do just fine. If you have, you know, this floating excess of minerals and gas, then throw down as many K'Dair and monoliths as you feel like. Now, this enemy wave was coming here, so I didn't want this probe I had right here to die. But the lava came anyway, so it pushed back this enemy wave, as you can see. And we did get one more probe back here, so we're going to be able to boost this up by another like 30 or 40 seconds. Or 90 seconds, was it? I can't remember. But yeah, now we're at 17 out of the 20 crystals. And because this probe didn't quite make it in time, we're just going to sit it right here until we're ready. Then we'll be at the 18 out of 20 crystals. Now we just picked up this extra crystal down here. So that'll put us at 19 crystals. And we're just going to sit this probe like right here. And as you can see where I'm clicking right now, clicking on top of these this gas and mineral pickup from Kerrigan's special ability. What's it called? Here, let's see. Assimilation Aura. That's why those mineral and gas pickups were right there. I'm just going to wait a second here because this enemy wave's coming in. I want to make sure that's dead before this probe moves in. And now we're using that Solar Lance ability once again, and it works out so great. You got to catch the enemy waves when they're coming at you because they're always they kind of like form into a line. When they, you know, they impact your defenses though, they spread out like this. See how they're kind of spread out? I mean, this actually would be kind of, if you use the Solar Lance, you could kind of go down like this. That would kind of work. But it works so much better when they're just like coming straight at you. They're most definitely in a line versus when they impact and they're spread out. Okay, now we will be at 19. Uh-oh. No. Oh no. Oh, so I forgot I did this. So we're just about to be at 19 crystals, and for some reason I decided to tell my probe by complete accident to come down here. I have no idea why that happened. So we were very close to being one away, and accidental click messed it all up. Okay, so I've got a little bit of outpost set up out here, and this is actually kind of important because there are enemy waves that do come from down here or up over here, and this will provide a good distraction to save our expansion. Even though we have so many defenses here, we'll still be okay. And this probe, even though I sent it back to the expansion, barely makes it. I send it back, and here, actually, we should watch that because that's really awesome. This probe I sent back missed the lava by, I don't know, a second. I got really lucky. Okay, let's hop back. Oh, did I miss it again? Okay, yeah, we're just about here. I'll speed it up just a little bit. Okay, so now I'm sending the probes back, Okay, so as this probe was traveling up here, let's slow her down back to normal speed. Boom! Just like that, saved the probe. And the downside is, if you lose a probe in the lava, that crystal just kind of disappears. So you're going to have to find a new one, which kind of sucks. It doesn't just drop in place. So yeah, got pretty lucky right here. Wasn't paying attention once again, but it worked out really well. Okay, so now this crystal is going to be the last one we're going through. Our teammate's going to go ahead and start clearing this out. I believe we're going to use some Solar Lance and Orbital Strikes here, help clear out everything out. And yeah, once again, oh yeah, another wave spawn up here. We Solar Lance there, and then help finish him off, that is, with Solar Lance once again. And this Burning Fire is so good too. And use some Orbital Strikes to clear out all this stuff. And they're attacking from everywhere. They came from here, and they're coming from down here. And like I said, this outpost helped a ton, because if this wasn't here, I mean, they probably could have assisted in this push that was coming from right here. That actually probably was part of it. This wave probably started up here, and they kind of split and came here. So it was a good thing that we had some defenses in place here to help distract against this enemy wave. And it doesn't really matter if we clear out the rest of them, even though we are going to with our Orbital Strikes, because we have a probe currently in place, moving back to home base, and is going to turn in the last crystal. And then that will be victory for this mutation. So I would definitely suggest going Karax and Kerrigan. Kerrigan for offense and Karax for main defense and support, that is. Use a ton of Orbital Strikes and Solar Lances to help support Kerrigan. And that's about all you'll need to do, and you will be covered. And I'm not going to go to the very end here because it's probably going to glitch out, so we're just going to pull this back a little bit so I can keep that menu in place for us to escape from this. And then I just quickly, before we're done here, I just want to go over one more time where I set up defenses. Okay, so at our home base, oh, that's kind of funky. Alright, our screen got messed up. I guess I'm not sure how to, I'm not sure how to rotate this. Oh, there we go. Okay, we're back to normal. Okay, so before I end this, I want to show you guys, okay, set up defenses right here at this ramp. Put shield batteries in the front. Set defenses up right here. Shield batteries in the front. And defenses right here. Sort of shield batteries in the front. And leave a little space at every single one of these ramps so your teammate can kind of move through. And then same with here. I set up defenses right here. You can set up defenses on the ramp. That'll work too. But I mainly put them right here because the enemy wave tends to like to use drops to come in from the side here. And they move over right here. So yeah, set up defenses, especially anti-air defenses, to kill the stuff that'll drop units on your base. And that'll work out pretty well. And then same with right here. They do kind of walk up the ramp, actually. Oh, whoops. Well, now I messed it up. Anyways, so the last spot I was going to show you, if you can see on this mini map right here, they do walk up the ramp and do drops. So I set up a full-on defense right here on the ramp. But yeah, that's about all I have for you guys. So yeah, hopefully this helps you beat the mutation on brutal difficulty. And if you guys have any other strategies that you happen to beat the mutation on real difficulty, please post in the comments. I would be interested to know how you guys did it, and would be interested into trying your strategies as well. I definitely think it's fun to beat the mutation as long as you have an effective strategy to play along with. So if you guys like this walkthrough, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, leave a like if you liked it, and I will see you guys in the next video.